Namaste, friends. Welcome to this tarot reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising for October 2020. Thank you for joining me here in this moment in space and time. I want to wish you all the best in peace, prosperity, joy, bliss, abundance, and happiness. I've got your cards shuffled up, Aries. I'll give them one last dust up, and then I'll hop back on the mic and we'll see what's in store for you for this upcoming month of October. I get a sense of your adventurous characteristics and qualities being highlighted by the full moon coming up here on October 1st. We'll begin there. We'll begin at the start of the month and work our way through with just a few tarot cards. All right. Once again, thanks for joining me. If you're new here, don't forget to find out how to subscribe. And if these readings resonate for you, please don't hesitate to hit the like button or leave me a comment. I try to get back to all of them. All right. Let's see what's up. Oh, decisions. For our Aries friends, we begin the month with the Seven of Cups. What to do, where to go, who to see. When we see the Seven of Cups here in a general reading, it can usually speak to the dreamlike qualities that one might have, Aries, in regards to how can we ground our ideas into a vision that is actually applicable for us to work towards? Some of our sights and goals may seem very lofty right now, given the state of affairs with society and the world, or feeling stuck in a certain position, whether that's work or family life, and you have all of these untapped or unchased desires, so to speak, and success being determined as the attainment of desires, you may find yourself really starting to ground some ideas of what is actually possible, or beginning to put things into order in regards to, all right, well, maybe goal A or desire A seems a bit far off, but how would goal B help facilitate our progress towards goal A, or even act as a catalyst? So you may find that certain ideas that you have at the beginning of the month do have ways to dovetail together should you begin to think bigger about the bigger picture and about how things could begin to fit, how you may be able to intertwine things like family and business, or family and entrepreneurship, or perhaps for some of our Aries friends, how could that adventurous quality, how could we take a business trip and get the benefits of adding some pleasure or taking some extra time on the tail end to do the things that we've always wanted to do, because they are at the forefront of your mind, I feel, Aries. Big goals, big dreams, big visions, right? But how do we actually ground those visions, ground those dreams, so that we have a way to practically approach them, so that reaching out and grabbing your desire, grabbing success by the horns, doesn't seem something that is too unrealistic or too far gone for us. The Seven of Cups is very dreamy. So for some of our friends in Aries, you may find that you are lucid dreaming at the beginning of the month, maybe having some very vivid dreams. And it'll be important for you to define which of these dreams are just like subconscious nonsense that will, it is what it is. It's the mind's way of processing out an overwhelming amount of information. But many of these dreams also have relevance, and many of these dreams also include visions, which are very important clues for you to tap into, to maybe uncover certain ways, certain methods, certain, again, traits and characteristics about yourself that you are kind of being guided or asked to look at more closely, or even a little bit more deeply, to help resolve conflict, to deepen emotional bonding in relationships, or to kind of, like I say, prioritize these desires and goals to find a way in which you can have it all. They can begin to work together. It doesn't have to necessarily be one or the other, because you got all 7 cups up there. This is a very nice card for you to see, because you're all such very hard workers, and you're all, I feel, just in there doing the grinding and getting ready and preparing always for tomorrow. But the tomorrow must come with that purpose. What do we want to do with tomorrow? So I like that card for you. As we move on through the month, we now see the Princess of Wands. So here, for our younger Aries friends, always never shy away. Never be afraid to be yourself. Never be afraid to speak your mind. Never be silenced by things like cancel culture, or perhaps office politics for some of you, or for others it'll be what is taboo and what is not taboo. The Princess of Wands comes with a message, Aries, and you're very good at this to begin with, but things as of recently have caused you maybe to recede or to be a little bit more reserved in your doing and your speaking, and the Princess of Wands is saying, none of that, enough of that. To be yourself is all that you can be, so why wouldn't you always bring your fullest to every situation without any kind of fear of negative recourse from people that may not understand your point of view, when really it would be up to you to demonstrate, to implore to them why it is so important, or why you are speaking out so passionately about the subjects that are important to you, and why it is that you may require things like a greater work-life balance in order to make things work. So some of you will be adjusting schedules, and some of you may be taking a lot more time for yourself so that you can enact and you can see the beginnings of the acting out of these fulfillments of the bigger dreams, not just accomplishing the means, but seeing the end and making sure that the means are a path of least resistance to the end and a profitable and successful way to meet the end goals. All right, the Princess of Wands comes with a strong message, and that is especially for our younger Aries viewers that are tuning in, very important for you to not feel like you're suffocating in your confidence and in your silence because you worry about what recourse other people may have. And of course, you don't want to go off the hinge or go off the deep end and do anything silly. But if you've got something important to say this month, Aries, it's very important that you speak up. All parties involved can benefit, or if they don't at first, it may be important for them so that they can see maybe mirrored progression, or learn a little bit something about themselves. All right. As we move on through the month, we've got a King of Pentacles reverse now. So people pleasers, right? Aries, try to make everybody happy. Who ends up not being happy? You. So make sure, if you're just kind of in that perpetual tennis match of go forward, and now it's time to compromise, now it's time to ask, now it's time to listen, now it's time to give, now it's time to receive. Attainment of this balance is going to be very important to you leading up into the third week. For some of you, you're wondering how financially we're going to be able to make this work. For some of you, the money that you are making and the money that you have tucked away, you're wondering like, I can't take it with me. I might as well go out and splurge. A rainy day fund, someday never comes. So why not make some smaller investments in the things that are important to you now, again, without any fear of recompense. Now, it could be I mentioned the people pleaser thing because I see you surrounded by a lot of people this month. It's going to be on the mundane or the very 3D ticky tacky. Going to be a lot of conversations, and Mercury going retrograde on the 14th. Some of you may find that your communication and your relationships with earth signs could be a bit strained in the second half of the month. So just be careful of that. When it comes to Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn, if you feel like you're not on the same page, or if it's very difficult to agree to disagree with certain people, that you may not want to push that too far, but also you don't want to remain silent to generate consensus or to get a positive outcome or positive feeling. It's going to be important to communicate, but if the earth sign in your environment is not willing to negotiate property, if they're not willing to listen or see the other side of the coin, it's time for you to speak up, but also to stand up and walk if other people are being unreasonable, because you can be very well assured that if the shoe was on the other foot, that person would unto you stand up and walk. So play your cards very straight and very forward and forthright this month, and you shouldn't have too much trouble. But I do see strained communications with earth signs as we move forward this month. And again, it's just because this particular Mercury retrograde is happening during a Mars retrograde, and it's lasting through into the Scorpio season. So miscommunications and misalignments and misunderstandings have the opportunity to become very intense, and tensions can bubble over very quickly, especially for you, Aries, because we know how passionate you can be when it comes to ideas and ideology and things of that nature. So again, finding that balance is going to be very key for you. Oh, people, and more people. Towards the end of the month, your harmony in relationships with air signs now, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, could be very strong. You could be finding intense passion in regards to making love, your romance, and relationships. They could begin to take on new heights. And I get the glimmer of some understanding or some resolve coming for you again here at the end of the month. Somebody is willing to take up your cause in this situation, Aries. Whatever it is that you're facing, you may find to your delight and your surprise that Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius comes to take up your cause or sees what you're fighting for, sees what you believe in, and offers support, empathy, or even a direct partnership in regards to, attaining these goals, especially if you're making it very clear. But before we can make these things clear to these other people that we're dealing with this month, Aries, it's very important that they are clear for themselves. When it comes to our thinking, when it comes to knowing what we want, what these cards are saying with the Seven of Cups and then all these people, it's like we can't half-ass it. We can't half-step it at all. And for some of you, this is just a longing, a stretch for those traits and characteristics, like I mentioned, of adventure. Life is like this one great big adventure. So why would we feel as though we were sort of stuck or whether we were bound by position when we know that if we approach things with a little bit more of a lighter heart, allow our sense of seriousness to sort of wax and wane, much like the moon. If we know when and we play when it's time to be serious, very seriously, then that alleviates or lightens up the rest of the time you have in the month to go out, have some adventure, have some play, and by no means or at any time be worried or be fearful of what the future may or may not have in store, because that's a mental rabbit hole that you know all too well, that when you play into it, you find, like, when you look at worst case scenario, you always know that when it's not that, you're pleasantly surprised. But you also avoid becoming the perpetual or the eternal optimist, because that sometimes can lead to disappointment. So do not attach yourself to any kind of income. Definitely attach yourself to your income, and I wish the best for you in all of that. Income and outcome. You see how that works, right? If we detach ourselves from the outcome, what we can bring in on the incoming, right, we have a lot more control, and it doesn't seem to be as aloof or as out of our reach, Aries. So hopefully that resonated for you. It makes sense. I wish you all the best here in October. Again, if this reading did resonate for you, feel free to reach out to me in the comments section. I look forward to reading you again next month, Aries. And please feel free to join us on this channel for live streams where I do free personal tarot readings. We have the people that sign up and come to watch this channel are very benevolent people, and we would love to have you come along for the ride. Okay, Aries, lots of love. We'll see you next time.